Greetings, gentlemen and ladies, welcome. I am the old school game snob, and today I'm going to show you how I like to level up a sorceress. This is, I think, about the most direct route that you can take. I've been doing this same thing myself 20, 30, 40 times, I don't even know. I've done this a lot of times, and this is the no filler method, the quick route, the path of least resistance. Well, at least as best as I can figure. Here we go. So the goal here is to create roughly a level 60 character that is rushed through to hell and is viable in hell. Also, we're not even going to need to do any respecs, so that's a few things. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. Our build is going to be a lightning orb sorceress, viable with little gear, viable in hell difficulty, and actually even viable for a hardcore playthrough. To kick things off, I recommend picking up a javelin. Javelin's great because it can take down enemies at a distance. It has a really high throw damage, 8 to 19. Well, actually, it's a little bit less than that. Mine's slightly augmented by a charm. 6 to 14, still, that's really high early game. I recommend picking up chipped rubies, chipped topazes, and you can use those inside of like a socketed club or something like that. Really simple, and that's a nice amount of damage. Basically, you're going to level up a little bit, and the first thing you're going to want to get, or that I like to get anyways, but this is my guide, and so this is what I'm going to suggest, is Charged Bolt. Charged Bolt is pretty nice because you get a little bit of AoE out of it. So early on, if you want to take out multiple monsters, you got a little bit of option to do that. Everything's so weak, it just kind of goes down really easy. A level 1 Charge Bolt is, pretty good. So what I like to do when I save up a little bit of gold, since I don't want to actually put any more into Charge Bolt as a skill just yet, because I like to save my skill points so I don't have to spend my respec points, I like to search around Akara's place and look for a Charged Bolt staff. This is when you get a little bit of gold extra. It probably costs 4,000 gold roughly to get like a +2 to Charged Bolt, and that'll get you through. That'll get you through as much as you kind of need to get through. We're looking for level, what level are we looking for? I think we're looking for level 12. It's not telling me I need to be level 12 because I think I'm above that right now, but yeah, we're looking for level 12 to get lightning. Once we get lightning, that's great. Things are going to change. Things are going to get quite a lot easier. In addition to that, it does not hurt one bit to grab a point of warmth and, telekinesis. That's super duper handy. And point of warmth for 1 point, you get 30% mana recovery, and that keeps going up as you get plus to skills. That's a good bang for your buck. And you get lightning. You'll probably be around the monastery. It's great. It absolutely is devastating at this level. This is just 1 point into lightning here. And it has absolutely no trouble taking stuff down. You also have a bit of help from your mercenary, and you get some good lightning skill practice lining up those angles. Okay, as for our stats, you can put your strength up enough to wear what gear you want, the armor you want, or the belt that you want. 60 is probably pretty good, because then you can wear a plated belt, which gives you a nice easy access to 4 rows of potions, very good quality of life, convenience, and plus later on your strength is going to go up to 156 anyway when you get Monarch Spirit Runeward Shield, so no problem dumping some stats into strength early on, and from there we're actually just going to dump everything else into vitality. For our energy and for our mana requirements, I recommend the use of sapphires. Sapphires can boost your mana up quite a lot. You can stick that into your armor, into your helms, and that'll give you a nice big boost to your mana, certainly enough for what we need. Also, we can, later on in Nightmare difficulty, you'll find some rings that give you like +50 to 100 mana, Frostburn gauntlets, stuff like that. That'll really help to get our mana up. And in addition to that, our mercenary later on is going to be using the Insight Runeword, which will give us a nice meditation aura that will keep our mana recharging super fast, so we're going to have enough mana. Stats can just go straight into vitality. Oh, and I nearly forgot, I like to put 1 point into frozen armor. This is just a cheap way to increase your armor and make everything that hits you freeze. It can be really helpful in slowing down damage that comes in. For your Ondariel fight, I recommend chugging a few antidote potions to stack their duration, 30 seconds per antidote potion. That will get your poison resistance up by 50%. And then since we don't have all that much firepower, I just kind of like to ring around the rosy. This takes a little while, but that's okay. We only have to do this once. Ring around the rosy with Ondariel. We are going to be into Act 2 and still using our simple level 1 lightning bolt. That's okay. It's perfectly good. Look at that. Level 1 lightning bolt. That's all you need. So this next part is going to be a little bit controversial. I know that. Probably a lot of you are going to say, not chain lightning. Don't take chain lightning. Lightning is the way to go. Well, if that's your preference, you go right ahead. That's fine. Both of these will work. I kind of have been favoring chain lightning myself lately, and so I'm not actually going to even upgrade my lightning skill at all until I get to level 18, and then I'm going to grab myself a chain lightning. So in this build, we are actually going to be maxing out lightning and chain lightning eventually. The only question is, which one do you want to max out first? Lightning is good for taking out a single row of targets, and it does more damage, potentially as much as twice as much damage later on in the game, whereas chain lightning bounces around. It could bounce back and forth between the same enemy multiple times and hit potentially for even more than lightning does. Lightning requires things to be in a row. Chain lightning hits everything kind of in an area of effect. So they're both good situationally. And remember, like I say, eventually you'll have maximum points in both of them, so this is just an early game decision of which one you like to level up with more. At this point, I kind of just level up with only 1 point in chain lightning. It's enough. If you want to put some more in chain lightning or lightning, you can, but the goal here is to save 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Because once we hit level 24, we're going to be switching over to Blizzard. 1, 2, 3, 5 points. So you're going to want to have at least 5 points saved up for Blizzard. It'll probably be sometime into later Act 3 that you're level 24 and you can get Blizzard. Blizzard becomes a game changer. At this point, the difficulty of monsters goes down dramatically. Alright, good job. We're almost to the end game of the first part. Now, when I do my run-throughs, I don't stop for any special leveling. I just kind of play the quest straight through. But otherwise, yeah, just play straight through using Blizzard, hopefully before you get to the Durance of Hate. Otherwise, that's going to be pretty tricky. Probably make sure you're leveled up to 24 for Durance of Hate. And then from there, we're just going to head on over to Act 4. In Act 4, we're just going to be using our handy-dandy super-duper single point in the Blizzard spell to plow through the minions of hell. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, more or less. Oh, and I nearly forgot, as far as gear goes, just kind of use what you find. That's the best you can really hope for. Faster cast rate rings are helpful for the lightning spell, although that's kind of moot. Once you get Blizzard, you don't really need it anymore. The stealth rune word is a very easy one to get. Also quite helpful, faster run walk, faster cast rate. That'll help with lightning and chain lightning. So that's a nice one. That would maybe be the only one I would bother picking up, and otherwise, yeah, just take what the game gives you. Faster cast rate, boots and stuff. It'll be fine. It'll be enough. As for the big man himself, this is going to take a little while. You're probably going to need to run back for potions half a dozen times. It just takes a little while. You got a level 1 Blizzard, and Diablo's pretty tanky. If you want static field, that's an option. There's no problem in taking static field. This build figures that in. Yeah, otherwise you just run around in circles. Yeah, that's what you do. Run around in circles. Make Diablo blue. You run around in circles and that is what you do. The big man starts out red and then you turn him blue. Hi-ya, we're blue, gonna make him blue. That's what we're gonna do. We'll make Diablo blue. Okay, welcome to the part of the game that I really like. This is when our little sorceress really starts to become powerful. We're in the Frigid Highlands now, Act 5. This is the first area, just running up to meet Shenk. Shenk the Overseer, no problem. Just make our way up to Shenk, and we're gonna look for the waypoint that's just beyond Shenk, which is this one up here, right here. Frigid Highlands waypoint. Okay, now the goal is to level up to 30 and get Frozen Orb. This is the run. We head on over to Frigid Highlands. We just teleport up 1 notch. We take out Eldritch the Rectifier. Easy peasy. The nice thing also is that these guys also have a decent chance to drop some, low-level useful gear. After we take out Eldritch, we head down to Shenk the Overseer. Take out Shenk the Overseer. Again, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. By the way, I forgot to mention the mercenary that you want to grab, obviously, is the Act 2 mercenary. I like there's a few good auras. You could take the combat aura to get the passive healing tick. You could take the Holy Freeze aura. That's also good. Yeah, I'll let you choose what you think is best. There's no right or wrong answer per se at this point, at this early point in the game. But you will be absolutely surprised at just how quickly killing Shenk the Overseer and Eldritch the Rectifier and all these little minions around that he takes out when he goes, hey, Shale Rune. will level you up just like really quick. So that's it. That's the whole run. Just keep repeating that over and over until you're level 30, and it'll happen super fast. And when you're level 30, the next step is to grab a frozen orb. Also, if you have 1 extra point to spend in cold mastery, now's the time to do it. We're just going to be putting 1 into cold mastery for now, but 1 point will have a nice big bonus to enemy cold resistance. So 1 point in cold mastery, 1 in frozen orb. That's all you can do because you're level 30 for the moment. And now you have become Death, destroyer of worlds. And that will remain true until the end of Nightmare difficulty. Basically, all we're going to do here from this point out is play through the game as normal. You pretty much need no gear. You need hardly anything. You hardly even need to slow down. You just run. You cast Frozen Orb. Everything dies. That's it. That's all you do. I mean, you can stop to watch things die if you want to, or you can just keep running. That's okay. It all works. Frozen Orb. It's just, oh, so good. So good. The goal here is every time you level up in Nightmare difficulty, just drop another point into Frozen Orb. That's about all you can do. Stop at about 15 points in Frozen Orb for now. We are going to stop there just to make this character more viable in Hell difficulty once immunities become a thing. So for now, 15 in Frozen Orb will be enough. It'll be more than enough to take everything down. And yeah, we'll actually still be viable for early entry into Hell. Now, as you level up, you're going to be dumping your points into the lightning skill of your choice. This can be lightning, or it can be chain lightning. You choose, but we're going to want to put 20 points into lightning mastery to get whichever one you choose up as powerful as we can make it. I am actually going to opt on chain lightning. You can opt on whichever one you want. I know this might be a little bit controversial, but here, let's jump on into Hell. Oh, and by the way, you have the option of putting 1 point into static field as well. I'm going to do that. Help to take down some of the difficult things. Oh, and by the way, I hope you have been keeping your eye out for a nice 4-socket pole arm. We are going to need to make the rune word Insight, Ral, Tyr, Tal, Soul. This is really going to be necessary as we jump into Hell. From my initial farming of the Eldritch and Shenk runs, I basically just got a ton of runes. The only one I'm missing is the Tyr rune, the low-level Tyr rune. So I'm going to farm normal mode Countess a bit and grab myself a Tyr rune, and then we'll come back to this video. Alright, we've progressed to Hell difficulty, and let me show you how this build stacks up so far, even with only the amount of points that we have invested so far. Okay, so here we have some cold immunes, so my Frozen Orb Sorceress is going to have a bit of a problem with those, but as you can see, Chain Lightning rips through this elite pack without much problem. Now what the problem you're going to experience is, and quite frequently, is your Mercenary. He's going to have a bit of a trouble staying alive. So the ways that we can improve that, boy, this guy's kind of strong here. Lightning enchanted, so he's got a bunch of lightning resist. So this was not a great example to show, but at the same time, this was a great example to show that even some of the more challenging problems that you encounter in terms of immunities and Hell difficulty can be overcome with this very budget early build, right? On the other side of the coin, your Frozen Orb is going to be plenty strong enough at level 15 to deal with some of the earlier Hell difficulty monsters. Now, of course, as we level up, we will be increasing our Frozen Orb to its maximum of 20. We'll also be increasing our lightning. But to get things started, right? This is the point of this build, to get your foot in the door, to get you into Hell, and to let your character start leveling up in Hell. Now, as you level up and the skill points become available, you'll want to make your lightning more powerful by pumping more points into whichever one you didn't choose. You'll also probably want to add that additional 5 points to your Frozen Orb to make that a little more powerful. And then from there, you can actually do something like increase your Charge Bolt, which will increase your lightning and chain lightning as well. And that's kind of your end game build layout. Maxed out lightning, basically, and a point in Frozen Orb. And then from there, if you have any points left, you could continue to increase the damage of your lightning spell with Nova, and your chain lightning also with Nova. But I'm going to do separate videos about more endgame builds. This video is really just to get your foot into the door of Hell, to get your character leveling up, to get your character able to farm loot, to get your character viable. If you have any trouble in Hell difficulty, head back to Eldritch the Rectifier, head back to Shenk, just keep farming. These guys can drop some really good loot that will definitely help you The Chaos Sanctuary should be pretty easy with Frozen Orb. You can plow through that pretty good, and you can get some pretty good loot drops from Diablo and his minions. If you're lucky enough to find a low rune, you can make the Fortitude rune word in a 4-socket piece of armor. This is wonderful for your mercenary. It will really help him to survive, but also it gives him a nice boost to resist and also a lot of enhanced damage, 300%, up to 300% rather, enhanced damage. The Spirit rune word, obviously I'm sure this goes without saying, in a crystal or a broadsword, 2 to all skills, faster cast, mana and vitality, just a wonderful and easy to get weapon. Easy to get I say, but I don't have one yet. I'm still looking for the Thule rune. Other items you'll want to be on the lookout include of course faster cast items. Since you are a lightning sorceress, your faster cast rate breakpoints are as follows: 7%, 15, 23, 35, 52, 78, and then 117. And beyond that, you might consider getting your own defense up and potentially getting an Act 2 mercenary with a defense aura that more than doubles your defense. That combined with frozen armor can get your armor level up really, really high. Since you're not an energy shield sorceress, getting hit less often is always good. And I can't remember if I mentioned this, but the other thing that you'll want to be on the lookout for is a nice piece of life leech armor, like a helm, for example, something like Telrash's guardianship, and you will give that to your mercenary. This will help him stay alive a lot. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of trouble keeping him alive initially, but once you get his defense upgraded, perhaps get the Act 2 mercenary with the Defiance aura, and perhaps get some life leech on his helm, this will improve dramatically. Okay, hope you have enjoyed this video. I think that's all I can think of for now. Alright, I'm going to get back to the game.